Welcome to Yeeflow's Workflow tutorial series, where we explore the power of task types in streamlining your workflow. Let's dive in. In Yeeflow, we have two distinct assignment task types: approval task and complete task. An approval task is perfect when you need a decision, such as a travel request that needs approval from a line manager. On the other hand, a complete task is ideal when action needs to be taken, like arranging travel bookings. Each task type comes with unique buttons and additional features. In an approval task, the task form includes approve and reject buttons, allowing task owners to make decisions. In a complete task, the task form includes the complete button for task owners to signify task completion. In both task types, you can enhance collaboration by enabling the reassign and add assignee features. Click the checkbox to activate the Reassign button on the Action panel, which will allow task owner to forward this task to another user. Click the checkbox to activate the Add Assignee button on the Action panel, which will allow task owner to add other users as the assignee of this task. Now let's delve into completion conditions. In approval tasks, you can set conditions like all assignees must approve, take the first approver's decision, anyone approves, or anyone rejects, ensuring consensus. For complete tasks, conditions can be tailored to your needs, like all assignees must complete or anyone completes, ensuring necessary actions are taken. In both task types, you can also use the custom percentage to control the approval or completion condition. Now, let's apply this knowledge to a real-world scenario, a business travel request. Imagine you've submitted a business travel request. What happens next? Your request first goes to your line manager in an approval task. The approval task needs to include at least two outgoing flow lines, one with the approved condition configured while another set the condition as rejected. If your line manager rejected, the workflow simply ended. If your line manager approves, the workflow flows seamlessly to the next action. Here is an inclusive gateway node where if there is no reservation, it goes directly to the travel request record settings. If there is a reservation, it proceeds to the travel assistant. The travel assistant receives a complete task to start arranging your travel. Now let's set up the business travel request workflow step by step. First, it starts with your line manager's approval. Drag an assignment task onto the canvas. Customize the action name, task assignee, and task form settings. In task type, choose approval task because this step requires your line manager to approve or reject the task. For approval task, the task form will include the approve and reject buttons which allow task owners to make decision. No need to change the default buttons here. For completion condition, you can choose all assignees approved or anyone approved depending on your needs. Once the setup is complete, connect the Start node and the Line Manager task node together. The approval task needs to contain at least two flow lines, approval and rejection. Now, let's handle rejections. If the Line Manager rejects the request, you need to add an End with Rejection node to the canvas. Connect it to the Line Manager node. Click on the Set button of the connection line and set the description to reject it. Click on the Condition Editor button for the condition. In the pop-up window, click on Add Condition button. 4 options will appear. Here we select Rejected. Once the workflow is End with Rejection, the workflow is End and the form can be resubmitted again by the form owner. If the line manager approves, the workflow flows to an inclusive gateway. Drag and connect the inclusive gateway. Connect it to the line manager task node. Set the connection line's description to Approved and add a condition, selecting Approved. If there's no reservation information, you'll manage it yourself. Add a Set Data List node below the inclusive gateway. Finish the setup of the Set Data List node. Connect it to the inclusive gateway. Set the connection line's description to No Reservation and configure the corresponding conditions. For cases with reservation information, you need the travel assistant's help. Add an assignment task node beside the inclusive gateway. Customize the action name, task assignee, and task form settings. Since this task requires the travel assistant to check and arrange the booking, choose Complete Task as the task type. The default Complete button is suitable here. For the completion condition, choose Anyone Completed since the task assigning was set to a user group. Then, connect it to the inclusive gateway, set the connection line's description to Reservation, and configure the corresponding conditions. After configuring, connect the Travel Assistant assignment task to the set data list. Set the connection line's description to Completed and add the corresponding condition Complete. Finally, add an end node and connect it to the set data list. After you submit a business travel request, the line manager opens the form for approval. Once approved, it flows to the travel assistant, who adds the reservation description and completes the form. Finally, on the application form, you can see that both the line manager and the travel assistant have given their approval. In conclusion, Yeeflow's task types are your allies in workflow management, from decisions to actions. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Explore Yeeflow further to unlock endless possibilities for your organization.